Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I got this hair and makeup look. The other day, hubby and I decided to go on a movie night and watch The Lion King finally, and I decided to get cute, and this is the look that I came up with. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'm so sorry it took me forever and a day to get this tutorial up. My computer has been such a pain in the butt to me these last couple of weeks, so hopefully we'll be able to get everything back to normal very soon. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I got this look, so let's go ahead and get started. This video is also in collaboration with Beauty Forever Hair. The wig that I'm gonna be installing in this tutorial is actually the same wig that I also wore in my last one. This is their Brazilian water wave wig in 22 inches. So I'm gonna be doing a reinstall. I've been loving these beautiful waves, curls, and everything like that for the summertime. I'm gonna make a few changes to this wig, but nothing too drastic. I'm gonna go ahead and start the reinstallation process. I already have my wig cap on and secured. I'm going to start adding some foundation onto my wig cap just to make sure it blends really well with the lace. And then from there, we'll go ahead and start securing that frontal down. This is also going to be the first time that I use a lace glue to install my frontal. It's just been so hot here. I don't know about everywhere else, but in California, it's just been like super hot. And just to be on the safe side, I picked up a lace glue just to make sure that my frontal isn't like sliding around everywhere when I do wear one out. So to lay the lace down, I pretty much worked in sections. I did 2 thin layers of the lace glue on the very edge of that wig cap. And once the glue got really tacky, I just laid the frontal right on top. Once I have my lace frontal down, I'm gonna go ahead and start styling my edges. You guys know I love some swoops, some baby hairs, so I'm gonna go ahead and start styling those using my Lotta Body wrapping foam. Short hair has also been a definite vibe for me now that it's the summertime. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this wig up and create like more of a bob type style. I'm cutting the hair about shoulder length, so I'm going to use some shears and just cut straight across, and then using a razor comb, I'm going to go through the ends of the hair just to make sure they're not too blunt looking. So now that we've got our cut, I'm gonna go ahead and start styling the hair now. I'm first gonna go in with some mousse. This one is from Silk Elements. It's their curl defining mousse. I love this one because it just kind of gives the hair extra body and it really helps with defining the curls. So I'm gonna spread a generous amount of that onto the hair and just start kind of scrunching it up to activate the curls. And then from there, I'm going to go in with some Eco Style gel. Again, I'm just taking a nice generous amount of this and scrunching the hair up to really define those waves. Then for the extra volume, I'm going to use my blow dryer along with my diffuser to dry the hair down. Even though the style is more of that wet hair look, I still like to have lots of volume, so it also helps if you flip your head upside down. That's going to give you the extra volume while still keeping those waves intact. And that's pretty much it for the hair portion, loves. I like to keep the hair super simple, especially for like nights out and stuff like that. I try not to spend too much time on my hair because I love to put that extra time into my makeup. So now that we're all done with the hair, let's go ahead and move into the makeup look. Starting off with the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and prime using the Makeup Revolution concealers in 12.5 and 12. 12.5 is going to be a lot closer to my natural skin tone, and 12 is going to be a little bit lighter, so that's going to go on the very center of the lid. And this is just going to make for a better transition when I start applying my foundation and concealer and everything. The tone of this concealer is just going to blend in a lot better to the skin products that I apply later on. Then for shadow, I'm going to be using the Stacey Marie Carnival Pro palette in collaboration with Bperfect Cosmetics. I'm going to be taking the shade Reckless and adding that onto the crease first as my darkest shade. Then to blend that out, I'm going to go in with the shade Funky, and with another clean Morphe M506, I'm just going to start buffing away at the very edges. Before I go in with my last transition color, I'm going to use some of Fenty Beauty's blotting powder and just kind of set the base around our last two shadows just to make it easier to get that really smooth, seamless transition once I start applying our last crease color. I'm then going to go into the shade Keen, which is this really bright yellow, and with another Morphe M506, I'm going to go ahead and blend out the edges of Funky. And don't forget to use a very, very, very light hand as you're blending out your shadows. Then using another Makeup Revolution concealer, this one is in the shade C1, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting the crease because I still have somewhere to go and I still got a time limit. I'm not going to do anything too crazy with the eyes. I figured a half cut crease would be perfect, so I'm just going to use small tapping motions to get that perfect line. I'm then going to start blending out the outer corner of that cut crease. I'm first going to go in with that shade Reckless, and using that same Morphe M506, I'm going to add some onto the outer corner and start blending that shade into the cut crease. I'm also going to go back in with that shade Funky and kind of add it onto the outer part of that cut crease as well, so we have a nice smooth transition between the outer corner and our lid color. Then for the lid, I wanted to add some shimmer, of course, so I'm using a Jlarue pigment in the shade White Gold. I'm going to press this into the lid using a flat shader brush and just make sure to take my time with this part because this is a loose pigment, so it can kind of get everywhere if you're not careful. But yeah, I'm just going to press this right onto the lid and just kind of blend it into that hot pink shade that we added on the outer corner. And that's pretty much it for eyeshadow. I'm going to add some mascara. This one is from Ciaté, but any mascara will do. I'm going to be adding false lashes later on, so this is just going to make it easier for the lashes to blend in. Now, usually I would add my false lashes at this point, but I'm gonna go ahead and hold off on that and move on to skin. To prep my skin, I'm first gonna use the Farsali Unicorn Serum. I'm gonna buff that into the skin using a dual fiber brush just to kind of make sure my skin is nice and moisturized. I'm then going to follow that up using the Farsali Skintune Blur. I absolutely love this stuff. It just makes the skin look super smooth underneath your foundation. And because it's been really hot, I'm gonna add another primer on top of that. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Jellypop Dew Primer. This primer definitely doesn't make your skin dewy, but it does give your foundation something nice and sticky to hold on to, and that's the reason why I love it. So I'm gonna spread that all over the skin using my fingers, and then from there, I'm gonna apply my foundation. So with foundation, I've been wanting to try foundation combinations that are a lot more lighter in coverage. So for today, I decided to use a mixture of mostly Dermablend's drop foundation, a little bit of MAC Studio Fix fluid just to make the color a little bit lighter, and a lot of MAC Strobe cream to tone down the coverage of the foundation. Because it's been so hot outside, I haven't been wanting to do like full coverage and everything like that. I'll keep it full coverage underneath the eyes, but that's pretty much it. Everywhere else, I kind of like it to be a lot more like my natural skin kind of showing through. So I've been really into mixing foundations, and I'll probably be on the hunt for just foundations in general that are a lot more lighter in coverage, because I kind of like this look. I like that my skin is like showing through and it's not like as full coverage as I normally go. So once I'm done blending that in, I'm gonna go ahead and add my concealer. I'm gonna use two concealers today. I'm using the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion in the shade 4N. I'm gonna apply that on the under eye area, a little bit on the sides of the mouth, the cupid's bow, and I'm just going to blend that in using my Morphe sponge, the same sponge that I use to blend out my foundation. Then for my second concealer, I'm going to use the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. I can't remember which shade this one is, but I will put it down below in the description box. But same concept, I'm going to only use a small amount on the under eye area and kind of bring it up to the bridge of the nose, then blend it out with the brush and go over it using that same sponge just to make sure everything is nice and seamless. Then going into the RCMA No Color Powder, I'm going to take a small amount of this and start setting the areas that I applied concealer. To add a little bit of extra brightness to the under eye, I'm going to take a powder foundation from Covergirl. This one is slightly lighter than my natural skin tone. I'm going to gently apply this onto the very innermost part of the under eye. I usually like to keep the brightness there. I try not to take it too far out because then it starts looking crazy on me. So I'm making sure to use a very small amount. A little bit of this goes a really long way. Using the same powder, just different shades, I'm also going to use this to set the rest of the face. Then to bring back some warmth and color into the skin, I'm going to go in with some bronzer. The one I'm using today is from Morphe. This is their Glamabronze bronzer in the shade Phenom, I believe. I love, love, love bronzer, so I'm going to add a pretty decent amount of that onto the hairline and also onto the cheekbones to give them a little bit of extra structure. And then for blush, I'm going to use one from Too Faced. This is from their Tutti Frutti collection. It's one of their blush duos in the shade Cherry Bomb. So moving back to the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and start smoking out that lower lash line. I'm first going to go in with some black liner and apply it pretty heavily onto the waterline and lash line. And then using those same colors that I added onto the crease, I'm going to place those onto the lower lash line, going from darkest to lightest. So I'm first going to go in with Reckless and a smudge brush and just add that to the lower lash line. Then to blend that out, I'm going to go back in with Funky and my Morphe M506. Then to blend that out, I'm going to go back in with Keen, which is that bright yellow, and smoke out the lower lash line even more. I'm then going to add some L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Primer onto my lower lashes only. I feel like my lower lashes are pretty long. They're just very thin, so it's really hard for mascara to kind of like grab onto them. So the lash primer really helps with that. As it's drying down, I'm going to add my inner corner highlight as well as my lashes. For the inner corners, I'm going to use the shade Pillow Talk from the Carnival palette. It's just like an off-white matte color, and I'm going to blend that into the inner corners to brighten that area up. Then for lashes, I'm going to go in with my crystal lashes in collaboration with Zachary Vang. These are the style 711. I'm going to pop those on with some tweezers and just make sure to press them together with my natural lashes just so there's no gap in between, so they blend in a lot better. Then final step for the eyes, I'm just going to add some mascara to the lower lashes. Next, I'm going to add some brows. Of course, as always, per usual, I'm using my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Ebony. This is Bae. This is Ride or Die. I love this stuff. It just works for everything. Like if you want a sculpted brow, pomade can do that. If you want a bushy brow, something more natural, pomade can do that too. It's just super versatile. I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows with that. I'm creating more of like a natural, like bushier type of brow today. So I'm just mostly focusing on the sparser areas. And then once I have my brow filled in, I'm going to add some Anastasia Dip Brow Gel in the shade Dark Brown. And I'm just going to brush that through my brow hairs to tint them up and make sure they stay in place for the rest of the day. I'm then going to go in with some setting spray. I'm using Urban Decay's All Nighter setting spray, and I'm just going to spritz that all over and dry it down just before I go into highlighter. The highlight that I'm using today is from Bperfect Cosmetics in collaboration with Mama Mitchell. It's his Sub-Zero palette. I'm going to be using 2 different highlighters from this palette and just apply that onto all the areas where I typically highlight. So the bridge of my nose, tip of the nose, Cupid's bow, a little on the cheekbones, and yeah, you guys know I love a pop-in highlight, so I'm going to use both of those colors to get the intensity that I'm looking for. Then last but not least, I'm going to touch up my lips. To line my lips, I'm going to use a combination of two different lip liners. These are both from MAC in the shades Cork and Chestnut. I'm going to line with Cork first because it's a little bit lighter, and for extra detailing and to kind of contour the lips a little bit more, I'm going to go in with Chestnut right after. To fill in the lips, I'm also going to use two liquid lipsticks from Anastasia. I'm using a mixture of Naked and Starfish, and I'm going to blend that in using a fluffier brush from Luxie. Then for gloss, I'm using one from Too Faced. This is their High Shine Lip Gloss in the shade Net Worth. And that is pretty much it for this look, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'm so sorry again that it took me forever to upload this one, but I hope you guys enjoyed it anyways. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you guys want to see more makeup tutorials. And don't forget to hit that bell if you want to get a notification anytime I upload. Thank you again for watching. I love you, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.